You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday, last Monday in September. And yes, it's fall. I believe fall will be coming forward this week, so wait for it. Just wait for it. I'm Margie Taylor, your host of Conroe Culture News from downtown Conroe at Lone Star Community Radio, FM 104.5, 106.1. And you can listen live streaming on Conroe Culture News at Facebook or irlonestar.com, and there will be a video of this posted later on today or tomorrow. So guests today are Caidens Hope. I have Wayne Keller, Carrie Manry, and Nida Sanchez will be talking about Buckner and Conroe. And then we'll hear from both Jason and, suddenly my list is gone. Hold on. Jerry and Jason from Tough, Texans United for Freedom, and talking about their Cooking for Courage. The big barbecue cook-off will wrap us up later on in the show. This is sponsored by Roger Stein Chiropractic, and they are located at 3303 West Davis by Conroe High School and Taco Bell, and you know where that is. So a few things going on this week. This starts today, this evening, Monday. Kids from kindergarten through 12th grade can go audition for a part in Robinson Crusoe, and that's going to be at the Crichton Theater. The cost is only $25, and they practice every evening and put on a performance Saturday at 7 p.m. of Robinson Crusoe. And it's a fun way for kids to get involved in acting, and it's put on by the Missoula Children's Theater. So they come once a year and do a different production, so that's a lot of fun. And this Thursday is the last First Thursday market. There is no more First Thursday concert because that goes April to September. I'm sad about that, but we still have the First Thursday market from 4 to 8 p.m., and there will even be Santa Claus there. So Wayne's going to tell us a little bit about Santa, and he will be taking photos. And if you like Motown music, don't miss Two Black Guys performing Sunday afternoon at Pacific Yard House. It's a lot of fun. Also, things that are coming up. Bean Punk Coffee Art Experience with Velvet Cactus will be Friday, October 4th at 6 o'clock. And we've already talked about Robinson Crusoe. And the Family Promise Bed Race will be at Lone Star College this Saturday, October 5th, with the bed drop-offs at 9:30 a.m., and then there's judging. The races, they're hilarious. It's free to go watch. It's 10:30 a.m. as the races at Lone Star College, right off at 242. There'll be signage directing you. There's also a chili tasting contest, chili judging, and it'll be completely finished by 12:30 on Saturday. So if you don't have anything to do, come on out there, support Family Promise of Montgomery County. They help homeless families with kids by our local churches. It's a 90-day program that helps them move into self-stability. So with that, we're going to roll into our first guest, and it's the Caidens Hope Foundation with Wayne Keller.
Hey, how you doing?
Wonderful.
Glad to see you back in town.
Yes, I'm back. You know, being in Alaska and then coming here to the airport, and it's just like, oh yeah, I forgot. It's still like 90 degrees.
Yeah, I should have brought a little cooler weather with you.
Yeah, it's so funny when you have to layer and layer. Yeah. Really, I mean, I wore sweaters and then jackets and another jacket and a scarf and gloves. Can you imagine? Yeah, you couldn't do that for 5 minutes out here on the sidewalk. So tell me a little bit about Caidens Hope.
Well, Caidens Hope Foundation is a nonprofit. We're based in the Woodlands, and we help out families that have babies in neonatal intensive care. Now, usually when mom and dad find out they're pregnant and everything is great, they got all sorts of plans, they expect it to last 9 months, and all of a sudden it doesn't. Maybe about 6 months or 7 months or 8 months, all of a sudden the baby decides it's time and the baby arrives. Well, usually that throws mom and dad's plans out the window, and they go from being very ecstatic and happy to being very, very, very unhappy and to having their lives literally turned upside down. They
scary too.
Very scary. They don't know. You know what? Yes, I always say yesterday they were planning on what color to paint the nursery. Today they're trying to make sure that their child lives, and it's that drastic and it's that fast. And when they go into the hospital, Either they have insurance or a governmental insurance assistance or something, but to pay for all the medical. But there's a lot of things they forget, like where are you going to get lunch today? How are you going to pay for parking? You decide to go to the hospital for the next 2 months, and if you're lucky, and for instance, if you were here in Conroe, you would probably go to downtown Houston. So it's 45 miles or so. Well, you drive that every day. You have to eat lunch. You have to pay to park. I don't know what parking is depending at the hospital, but it's roughly $18 a day. And so what we do is we try to take care of all those little expenses that aren't so little when you're doing it for 2 months. They add up. So we try to help families with that. And we also have programs that, for instance, if you're in Nevada or you're in Idaho or Montana, you go to Salt Lake City, Utah. So not only are you 6, 7, or 8 miles away, 8 hours away from your home, now you need a place to live. So there's a wonderful organization called the Ronald McDonald House, and it's a great place, but it's not at every hospital, and it's not free. Ronald McDonald House won't force you to pay. They'd like you to, but if you can't, they won't. So a lot of times, even if it's only $5 a day, some families just can't afford that if they're going to be there for 3 or 4 months. So we try to help out with stuff like that. Otherwise, we put them in a hotel for a couple of days and try to take care of that. Try to give them some semblance of a real life, a normal life, while their baby is in the hospital fighting for its life.
So Wayne, this is throughout the country, right? It's not just in our immediate Texas area, Houston, Woodlands, all that. And you partner with other hospitals across the country, right? We've lost Wayne.
There we go.
Okay, there you are. You're back now.
I went to turn off the microphone because I was going to cough and couldn't get it turned back on.
Yeah, don't.
No, we help out families in every state. In fact, we just got a request the other day from Hawaii, and that's very interesting because the family is not on the main island. They're on another island. So not only do they have to get the baby there, and that's probably by helicopter, and that's probably part of the medical care, but how do mom and dad get there?
Yeah. So how did they find out about Caidens Hope?
A lot of times it's just going on the internet and looking up for NICU help. A lot of families find us that way. But over the years, we've developed relationships with hospitals all across the United States, and we're getting new ones every day.
That's exciting.
It really is nice to get a phone call from a hospital in Illinois that has said, a mom came to us and said, you guys could maybe help them, and we've never heard of you. And I said, well, most people haven't. So
that's good.
We're going to do our best to educate them and then to start helping families that live in that area.
Let's talk about the beginning. When did you start Caidens Hope?
Is it back in, it's going on almost 10 years, 9 years ago, back in 2010. Caiden Call was born 2 months early out in Ventura, California. His grandfather is a buddy of mine. I've known him since the 8th grade. We've been just friends ever since. And for instance, we were there when his mother, when Caiden's mother, Jennifer, was born, and watched her grow up. And then she got married and had Caiden, and everything was fine with her. All her prenatal care was perfect. And then one day it wasn't, and she ended up going into the hospital right away. And 5 days later, she gave birth to Caiden, and immediately he was taken from the delivery room to the emergency part of the hospital in the NICU. And then he was stabilized, and then he was put in an ambulance and taken to Los Angeles, which is 70 miles away. Jennifer never even got to hold him.
Wow.
It's that fast.
That's scary.
It's very scary. And they don't know
It's
what's going on.
heartbreaking.
It is. And, the medical teams are using terms that are medical terms that you don't necessarily know what they mean. So they're throwing all these medical terms at you, and all you want to know is, my baby okay? And they don't have time to tell you because they're making sure your baby is okay. And so this really touched my wife and I, touched our hearts immensely. And after a few months of trying to figure out how to start all this, we started Caidens Hope, became a 501c3.
I know I met you some years back.
About 4 or 5, I guess.
Yeah, and we talked about that. But I think you're doing a lot more locally anyway.
to.
You're doing a lot of different events to help bring in money, because the money isn't just there. You have to raise raise the funds, because you are a nonprofit. And ironically, everybody on the show is part of a nonprofit today. And
our primary bank account right now has $52 in it. today.
Okay. So there's a
things are
big
desperate.
push.
Things are desperate.
Money in, money out, money in, money
right.
out all the time. And I know you've done some things with the Corner Pub,
Right.
and you've done some other things with country music people.
Yes, indeed.
And but you have this thing coming up with Santa. Is there going to be a cost to that, or what? How does that work?
This is coming up this Thursday.
Yep.
At the first Thursday in Heritage Place here in Conroe, and there's no cost. If you want to come out and get a picture, or have your kids take a picture taken with Santa Claus, bring your camera, bring your phone, take your pictures. We're going to try to have some printed, but that's kind of up in the air at the moment.
We shall see.
We shall see. But but even if we print them, there's still no cost to the family. We just want them to have a good time. And then while we're there, we're also going to be telling them about Santa's Wonderland and the great folks up there in College Station that have really done a favor to us. They did it last year, and it was wonderful.
Very
but this
benevolent,
Year, but this
yeah.
year is going to be even better. They just gave us 200 tickets to enter Santa's Wonderland. And it's on select dates, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, November 11, 12, 13, and 14, November 18, 19, 20, 21, and December 2, 3, 4, and 5, that we have tickets, and whatever we sell these tickets for, we get to keep. Santa's Wonderland isn't charging us anything.
So it's an easy money-making
They
thing.
just gave us the tickets, and in fact, here's 4 for your listeners, for a 4-pack, so you can
Okay.
give that away. But we're going to be going up to Santa's Wonderland on those days and just having a great time. And at the first Thursday, coming up this Thursday, we're also going to be selling these tickets. Now, normally a ticket to Santa's Wonderland is $46.95 for an adult. Child fare is about $25. We're selling all of these. We sell them at $20 a ticket.
Oh, my.
Doesn't matter if you're adult or kid.
Yeah,
You're still
it's a big
saving
savings.
saving money. And have you ever been to Santa's Wonderland?
I have.
It is a wonderful place. I had never been until last year, and it's so much fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
The lights,
there's
the everything.
There's millions of lights, and
Yes.
you get in the hayride.
We actually
and-
went up there when it was like in the teens, the weather.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's even better because the first time I went, it
was
was like
cold.
75 degrees. I'm like, this is not real Christmassy, but nonetheless, hopefully it'll get cooler quickly. But go up there and you can ride like Frostbite Mountain, which is like they put real snow out, and you go tubing down the hill, or take Santa's Wonderland, which is a kid's train around the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And what I like the most is Doc TikTok, who's the leader of the band that plays live music.
oh, yes.
right across
You're
from
right.
us.
And then they have like a little bonfire thing,
Little,
too.
yeah, a little campfire place. You can sit out
Mm-hmm.
and get yourself some food, and get yourself an adult beverage at the Wonderland Winery.
They have
And-
hot mulled wine, too.
Yes, they do. It's wonderful.
I remember that.
and there's 25,000 square feet of shopping there too. So you can go and have a great time, and the kids can go ride something, and you can go look at whatever you might want to purchase for Christmas. But it's coming up this Thursday, October 3rd. It's going to be at Heritage Place. It starts at 4:00. And like I said, just bring out the kids and get a picture with Santa Claus. Bring your phone so you can take a picture, and we're just going to have a good time and try to raise some money for Caidens Hope.
Get in the season early, because
Yeah.
everybody knows that once we get into October and Halloween, it's all over. You can just shut it down because the time just flies real fast. So get out there now, get ahead of the schedule, help out other families that really need you with Caidens Hope. I mean, it's a great service they provide. You call it incidentals, but it's not incidental. It's stuff you need.
It's stuff you need. You really do.
You need to eat. The parents need to eat.
need a place to stay.
They need transportation. The costs start mounting because when you have a baby that is born early, there's all kinds of things going on, and the parents want to be there. They want to be there for their baby.
The most important thing in their mind is my baby going to be okay, and damn the expense. That's
Yes.
the way they think, and that's the right way for them to think. It really, they shouldn't worry about this stuff, but they do worry about it. And they do worry about where they're going to get lunch tomorrow. I knew one family that used to they were so broke. They were a young family. Their credit cards are already maxed out, regardless of this happening. And they come into the place. They could afford to buy one sandwich, and they would each eat half of it. And that's what they had to eat all day because they just can't afford it. This is a monumental change in their lives. And well, we need to help them out. That's all
You know,
there
it
is
can
to
happen to anybody. It can happen to anybody.
I mean, my wife and I were blessed that all three of our boys were in the hospital. My wife was there for an hour and a half. They had a baby, kicked her out because the insurance, and everything was fine. We never really had a clue that this happens to people. And it happens to 400,000 people or babies are born premature every year in the United States.
So
That's a
how
lot of
many
kids.
how many families have you been able to help? Do you have any idea over the years?
Right now it's over 750.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. We want it to be one. I'll tell you this, Margie, we want to be out of business. We don't want this to happen anymore, but unfortunately that's probably not the way it is. So we want to be able to help at least 1,000 families every year. And we can't do that right now. We've helped 750 over the last 10 years. First year we only helped 5 in the entire year.
But you're gaining headway.
We set our goal at 1 family that year.
Yeah.
We helped 5.
That's good.
Yeah.
A little bit of time, but I think you're getting more known. So they can go to caidenshope.org. It's easy to Google. You're also on Facebook. They can find the event on there that you posted and come check it out, talk to you, see how they can plug in. Every donation helps.
It really does. It really does, because a lot of people think, well, I can only give $5. Well, my $5 and your $5 and Dick's $5, it all adds up. And so then we've got $100.
Right.
And then we can do something with $100.
Make a difference.
Make a difference.
Okay, this is Caidens Hope Foundation with Wayne Keller. Again, it's caidenshope.org to find out more information, or come out on Thursday to Heritage Park, downtown Conroe, of course. And it's free. Come to the market, visit with him, get some tamales, get a picture with Santa.
Have a good time.
Do it all. And it doesn't really cost you anything. Right. So we will be right back. And again, this is sponsored by Roger Stein Chiropractic. Our next guest will be from Buckner International in Conroe.
Since 2004, Roger Stein Chiropractic has offered spine and joint manipulation services to residents of Montgomery County and surrounding areas. Conditions treated include lower back pain, migraines, headaches, whiplash, carpal tunnel, neck pain, sciatica, joint pain, sports injuries, herniated discs, and complications from pregnancy. Roger Stein Chiropractic, led by Dr. Stacy Rogers and Dr. Brian McGee, is an integrity-verified chiropractic clinic. Call 936-441-9990 for an appointment, or visit rogerssteinchiropractic.com. That's RODGERSSTEIN chiropractic.com.
Second Saturday Divorce Workshop provides unbiased information to help you understand your options and move forward with your life. This divorce workshop is for you if you are contemplating divorce, in the process of divorce, already filed for divorce, or post-divorce. You will explore the emotional, legal, and financial aspects of divorce from professionals who have guided others through divorce. For more information on this divorce workshop, contact secondsaturdaywoodlands.com or call 832-375-0900.
Hey, Montgomery County and online listeners. Thank you so very much for checking out Jazzy Vibes with Soul. What? You haven't done so yet? Well, you've got to tune in. Hi, I am the host of Jazzy Vibes with Soul, Miss CeCe Holmes, and I invite you to check us out every Friday and Saturday from 7 until 9 p.m., where you will get the best in old school R&B, and of course, a little smooth jazz to make it jazzy. So tune in. That's right, tune in every Friday and Saturday right here on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM, or worldwide at irlonestar.com.
Remember to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on your computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. Lone Star Community Radio, broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
And And we are back to our second segment of the three-part show today. And we are talking with ladies who work with Buckner International in Conroe. And did you know that Buckner's been there for 10 years? I sure did not. So we're going to find out a little bit about it. And like I said, every guest that comes on here today is part of a nonprofit that's making a difference for people in need throughout our county. So, ladies, I have Carrie Manry and Nida Sanchez, and you both are employed with Buckner, right?
Yes, ma'am. Correct.
So, Carrie, talking to the microphone over there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, Carrie, what do you do with Buckner?
I'm a family coach. I work with single parents. Our program, it's Buckner Family Pathways, and single parents that are located in Conroe, we help up to 10 families. Do you want me to just go on?
Yeah, tell me.
Well, first, I'd actually like to share how long our agency has been in existence.
Yeah, tell me about it.
We have been around over 140 years. It started with a Baptist pastor. His name was Father Buckner. And he saw, after the Civil War, he saw that there were many children that were orphaned. And that's where Buckner actually began. He felt driven by the scripture James 1:27 to create a place for the orphans to go. And so he started expanding his home and started taking in orphans. And then he also noticed that there were widows who also needed assistance. And from there, we have grown internationally. We have many programs in other countries, and we have many programs in the state of Texas. We offer hospice care. We also collect shoes, which I don't know if you're familiar with. We have several churches in Conroe that collect shoes. It's called Shoes for Orphan Souls. And then we also have Hope Centers. We have several of those in Houston. And we also have those international.
And what's a Hope Center?
A Hope Center, it offers opportunities for adult education, youth development, and job readiness, just helping those families to come out of poverty and isolation, providing more opportunities for them to grow as a unit.
I can see why you're driven to do this. How long have you been working there?
I have been working for Buckner 3 years now, or approximately 3 years in November. I love what I do. I feel like it's my dream job.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like everything, my personal life experiences plus work experiences have been combined, allowing me to be able to work with single parents. The single parents that we have, it's a 2-year program. And the 2-year program helps with providing housing support. We direct them to child care assistance because we realized with research, our program's actually been in existence for 20 years now. Specifically to Conroe, 10 years. And so we realized that there were some barriers that these single parents were coming and confronting on a daily basis, such as not having sufficient housing, childcare, transportation, and just having the lack of confidence. And so that's where our program was birthed from, is just wanting to help meet those needs. And we don't just help them with housing, we also provide case management, which we call coaching. And we also offer counseling to every parent, and we are a 2-gen model. So Buckner also offers counseling for the children. All children who are able to speak or they're verbal, we have play therapy. We offer parenting, which is on a huge variety of what we offer. We have licensed professional counselors that work with each parent individually, helping them to achieve their goals, and based off of their goals determines how long they'll be working with this counselor. We also offer parenting classes. We have parent educators who also partner with these mothers and fathers to help them to understand the development of their children and how to help meet their needs. So we are
You do a lot of things.
We do a lot. And it's a holistic approach. We also, we are a faith-based nonprofit. So we do approach things in prayer, and we also, we don't force that on our parents, but we also ask them if there's ever a need for prayer. And we've seen that prayer works.
So do you partner with other local nonprofits to do some of these things, or are you a standalone?
We do. We know that I'm one person for this, overseeing this program, so we realize that not one person can do this, and we also want the parents to be able to utilize these resources on their own as well. So even after they graduate our program, they'll still have those connections with other, like say, for example, the parent educators. Those are resources that they can still utilize after they leave our program.
Okay. Nida, we're going to just look at you now. So what do you do with Buckner, Nida?
So I am the administrative specialist there at the Conroe office. I do a lot of the billing for the foster care families, but on top of that, I also help Carrie plan the events, and I do a lot of the community outreach. I gather the volunteers, and we're currently working on building a volunteer program. It wasn't really something that we have established there, so we're kind of starting from scratch and figuring out what works for Conroe. And what we've been doing is attending a lot of networking events and just trying to get the Conroe community a little more involved and informed about Buckner. And that's my role there. We do have, on top of family pathways, we also have the foster care and adoption side to our office. So with foster care and adoption, they focus on providing safe and loving homes for children. So what we do is we empower the families to prepare for what's to come in the future. So we not only license their homes, but we're there with them every step of the way. So we help them with the registration, we help with all of the training that they need, all the training requirements, all of the licensing and home inspections. We help them with that. We also refund any other expenses that they have outside of the application fee. So if they have like a gas leak or a fire, like a fire extinguisher fee that they need refunded, we help them with that as well. We also partner with different like programs to help them with school supplies and uniforms and clothing. We have different organizations like child advocates that attend court with them so that they're more knowledgeable, and a child has not only the foster parent there, but they also have someone to go to court with them in case,
CASA,
yeah,
right.
again, CASA, yeah, as well. So we partner with them as well. And we have an amazing team, and they're so passionate. We have 2 case managers at the moment, Sabrina and Elsie, and they do an amazing job with our families. They're always have the child's best interest at heart, and they are phenomenal to work with. And I've seen how much they care and how passionate they are with our families, dedicating their time and putting them first above their own families. And it's just amazing that our foster families, they're doing something huge, and even when you form your own family, you don't know what to expect. So imagine fostering a child who's already, majority of them have their own traumas and have their own past that you have to help them cope, like they're children. So with adults, it's hard for us to even accept our emotions and deal with them. So imagine a child going through a traumatic event. So just helping them trust and love again, and we focus on their future and look at the bigger picture, that if we help this child cope and learn now, they'll be self-sufficient by the time they reach an age where they can live on their own.
So you offer services for single families and also families that want to foster kids,
Correct.
sounds like. And do they have to just be single families?
Single parents for, yes, ma'am.
Single parents, families, okay. So you do both sides of the spectrum. So if I wanted to adopt a child, would I come, adopt or foster a child, would I come talk to y'all about that and what I needed to do? Or would that be through CPS or something?
That would be through us.
Okay.
I am typically the first point of contact. When somebody inquires about adopting or foster care, I am the person who gives them the information. Right now, if anybody is looking to do that, they have an information meeting that they can attend on October 7th that usually takes place at our Conroe office. And
That's coming up right soon here.
Yeah, and it starts at 6 p.m. to 7:30. And from there, they'll receive all of the information about what's next. They'll have the opportunity to fill out the application on site if they would like to do that. They could always email or call us beforehand, and if they want to turn in their documents that way, then we can just focus on the information meeting itself once that day comes.
So do you work with the court system itself to get connected with families or foster kids?
We work with DFPS
Right.
To license the homes, and then from there we do work with with CPS, so Child Protective Services. We work with them, and we kind of interview the children and their past to see what fits the families that are coming in. Some parents who decide to be foster parents do have specific needs. I know recently we've had somebody who was just focusing on a teenager who was pregnant, and that's exactly what they were looking for, and they knew that that's what they wanted in their home. Others, they're just happy to help and they accept anybody.
Whatever, yeah.
But just we have to look at the dynamic of their home and the child's needs before we even consider placement.
Make sure it's a good fit.
Absolutely.
So you both seem very passionate about what you do, and that's really important because then you can direct that energy into making a big difference to the kids for the most part, because I think that seems like that's the nature of it. Now, you do not have a shelter per se. You don't shelter kids like youth services or anything like
No.
that. You offer external services. So at your center, is that where people would come in and find out about counseling or other services? In Conroe, would they go to your office there to find out about that possibly?
Yes, ma'am, they can. We actually wanted to share that information. You can go to buckner.org, or you can also call our local office number, and that is 936-756-3639. And NIDA would be the first point of contact. And generally what we do is, even if they don't, or they're not a good fit for, say, my program, we still want to offer resources. And sometimes there are some really tough calls that we take, and we want to offer that encouragement. We always ask, if you want, you can always call back, and we can see if we can help you even further. But in regards to how do they find us, it's by word of mouth. That's usually the biggest way. Actually, before we came, a mom who stopped in and said, there was another single mom that told me about your program. I'd like to learn more about what that is. And I always send them to the college. That is a main requirement to be in our program, is they have to be willing to complete a college education.
Interesting.
It's a 2-year program, must be a full-time college student. Depending on their degree plan that they choose, determines the GPA requirements. So if they're choosing a medical degree, we expect for them to have a 3.0, and that's just mainly because if they're going into the nursing, it's so competitive, and we want them to have that good foundation so that whenever they apply for that nursing program, their acceptance would be more likely. Any other degree plan, we have a expectation of a 2.0. And again, like I was mentioning earlier, we ask that it's a working program. So there's no handouts, it is working, and there's a commitment. And so we just encourage them along the way. There's the case management, the counseling, and it's mostly anyone who's really wanting to make a change for themselves. And it's not just getting a college degree. It's making an impact for themselves, making that decision to change the trajectory of their future for their children.
And it says families with kids, single families, single parents
Yes, ma'am.
with kids. It doesn't matter if they're married or
They have
widowed.
they can't be married.
Well, yeah, they can be married, but I mean, it doesn't matter how they got there.
Exactly.
And then you offer the funding for the education?
We help them with applying for financial education. We
Okay.
help them with budgeting. Before I came, I helped to write a letter for a recommendation for one of our moms who has been very successful at getting many scholarships. I think she is up to close to 10,000 for this last year. So we assist in those ways so that they're learning how to become self-sufficient. So they're not depending necessarily on us. We do offer support, but that's after they've exhausted all other resources in regards to financial, the scholarships. But we do help with rental assistance. We partner with different apartment complexes in Conroe, and that's where our families are. We don't have apartments, Buckner apartments. That's what makes this program in Conroe different than any other location. We do not have apartments on our property. But we do have a really great relationship with these apartments. We work with these apartments. And the parents, depending on the size of the apartment, whether it's a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom, determines how much they'll be paying.
Is there a duration to the program? I mean, it's not 90 days, obviously, but is there an end date, or is it just case by case?
We do case by case, but we do start in the front by telling them this is 2 years.
Okay.
So we need to do as much work as possible.
And it's a 2-year commitment on their part
Yes,
as well?
ma'am.
Okay.
And I also let them know we did have a family, for example, that she was almost at the end of her degree, but she needed like one more semester. And we weren't going to just say, we're done here. We supported her until she completed her degree plan, and then she successfully went into being employed. So it's case by case.
Yeah, absolutely. Depending if they're meeting their goals, if they're really putting the
Yes.
time and effort into it. So again, I can see you guys are both very passionate about it because you know your stuff. And that only happens when you're passionate and care about it. So you have an upcoming event as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about that.
We have a fall festival, and that is a collaboration that we're having with both programs, our Buckner Family Pathways program and our Buckner Foster Care and Adoption. And that is November the 2nd, and it is from 2 to 6. It's a carnival themed event. We will have face painting. We're going to have balloon animals. We have so many different things that we can't even name them all. But one thing that we really need is we need volunteers to help us to be able to provide this event and this opportunity to these families.
And this is in Conroe?
Yes, ma'am. It's at our office, and that address is 407 Avenue F, Conroe. And you're more than welcome to call us and ask, how can I help? And that could be either by, assisting with providing the food, or if that's giving a monetary donation, or even coming and being present to just love on these families and just have a good time.
And what is the time span that you would need volunteers?
Well, we are looking at having it from 2 to 6.
Okay, so just you want somebody to do either 2 hours or 4 hours, I'm assuming then.
Yeah,
For the most part.
whatever they want. We're also having a trunk or treat, so we'll need families to either decorate their cars or just come and park their car and just pass out candy from their cars. And from there, if they do want to commit to for the entire event, we're thinking of setting time aside for the trunk or treat. So maybe doing the trunk or treat towards the end and having the people who brought their vehicles in assist with one of the carnival games. And we'll be providing majority of the material. We're just looking for volunteers to supervise the stations, to decorate their stations, and just make this more fun for the kiddos, And it's well worth it. I've participated in a few events since I've been with Buckner, and it's so amazing just seeing the gratitude of the families and just allowing them to spend that time with their children. It's incredible.
So I will repost this event and put some of these comments on Conroe Culture News so that people are more aware of it as well. And again, if people anyone is interested in finding out whether they need services or want to help with some of the services, they can go to buckner.org to find out information. And then you can go to locations, and it has one for Conroe.
Yes.
And you're also on Facebook, Buckner
are on-
Conroe, I believe.
Absolutely.
So I think it's great that you came on today because I didn't know about all this stuff, and I've been working for nonprofits since 2003.
Best kept secret.
Well, let's not keep it a secret anymore.
Secret is out.
The secret is out. Anything else you want to add, ladies?
No, just follow our page and go on to our buckner.org website. And if you want to get involved, we're more than happy to help you along the way. If you want to become a foster parent, that's even
It's
more
about
incredible.
the families and kids.
Yeah, we have that information meeting on October 7th. So feel free to stop by. Feel free to call us if you need more information about anything, helping, donating, fostering. We're here.
Okay, Carrie and Nida, thank you very much. Did I say that your name right?
You
Nida.
did,
Okay,
yeah,
I was like,
Nida.
Hold on, that just came out. We're going to wrap this up now and get on with our next and final guest, Texans United for Freedom. And this is sponsored by Roger Stein Chiropractic. And I'm Margie Taylor, and we'll be right back.
All right, thank you.
Path to the Plate is a research-based education program that helps consumers understand how their food choices impact their health by making the connection to agriculture. Learning about how food is grown and produced, and how consumers can make better food choices for themselves and their families, Path to the Plate is all about dispelling myths and misconceptions. Find out more online at pathtotheplate.tamu.edu. We are Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, helping Texans make their lives better.
Since 2004, Roger Stein Chiropractic has offered spine and joint manipulation services to residents of Montgomery County and surrounding areas. Conditions treated include lower back pain, migraines, headaches, whiplash, carpal tunnel, neck pain, sciatica, joint pain, sports injuries, herniated discs, and complications from pregnancy. Roger Stein Chiropractic, led by Dr. Stacy Rogers and Dr. Brian McGee, is an integrity-verified chiropractic clinic. Call 936-441-9990 for an appointment, or visit rogerssteinchiropractic.com. That's RODGERSSTEIN chiropractic.com.
Lone Star Community Radio is ready for the summer. If you or anyone you know is looking for a summer internship, Lone Star Community Radio is a great place to learn the radio and TV business. Contact the station at info@irlonestar.com or call the station's message line at 936-647-3776. Lone Star Community Radio offers a great opportunity to those interested in learning about the radio world.
And we are back for the last segment of our show at Conroe Culture News at Lone Star Community Radio, FM 104.5, 106.1 out of downtown Conroe. And you can always go to irlonestar.com to see all the other shows and do live streaming right now if you've missed part of it. And this will be posted again on Conroe Culture News and various other places via YouTube later on. So I am sitting here now with Jerry. How do you say your last name?
Gary Lynn.
Gary Lynn Hessong.
Hessong, yes.
I forgot the Lynn part. And Jason Rand, and they are here with Texans United for Freedom, Tough. They also have a big barbecue cook-off coming forward, and they're going to tell us about that, how you can get involved, and what's going on. So first of all, tell me about Texas United for Freedom. What is that?
Texas United for Freedom, or Tough. What we do is we raise funds and bring awareness to veterans and first responders. And we do donate to veterans organizations. One of them is the Lone Survivor Foundation, which to this date, we've given $75,000 just from the Cooking for Courage event.
Say it again, how much?
$75,000.
That's great.
Yes.
$75,000 towards your.
Exactly. And at the same time we're raising this money for our beneficiaries, we're also bringing awareness to veterans and letting the community come out and enjoy an event that celebrates our veterans and really shows appreciation.
Now, Gary Lynn, you are a veteran yourself.
Yes, I am.
And is that why you got involved in this? Did you see a need?
Yes. I am a veteran, and I started putting on barbecue cook-offs for the Magnolia Chamber of Commerce many, many years ago. My family's always done barbecue cook-offs all the way since they started Montgomery County Fair. So it was something that I knew how to do. And I made a relationship with a lot of cook teams during that process. And I just got to the point where I just wanted to put my efforts towards something that was, true to my heart and what I believed in. And I had a great group of people that are also on my board that, like Jason, but they the same need, to do something a little bit more with what we can do, which is put on barbecue
Right.
cook-offs.
And you do a great job of that.
Thank
So how many years, Jason, has this been going on, the Cooking for Courage?
I believe this is our fifth year.
Fifth
Is that
year?
correct, Carrie Lynn? Yes, we had been out at the fairgrounds this will be our third year out there. We ran out of space at our old venue. There was so much interest, people that wanted to participate. We literally had no more room to put anyone else in there. So we went ahead and made that switch, and now we have more room to fill up, but it has the following came with us, and we've expanded as well and brought some more folks in, and the room does become limited again.
So how many do you have space for? How many barbecue cook-off teams?
Right now, we have space for 110. Right now, we're taking half of the park out there at the Montgomery County Fairgrounds. There's a rodeo going on the other side of the park. But we're perfectly comfortable where we are right now. The cookers are happy. We're pretty spread out for the most part, but we'd love to fill up that park eventually.
So there's a need for people, a sense of urgency to sign up to be barbecue teams
Oh,
because
for
you can
sure.
only take so many.
That's
right?
true. Right now, 110 teams is what we can take. Last year, we had 92 teams. So yes, we do need cookers to get their forms in. We are looking for volunteers as well. to do everything from judging to helping with the gates to the entry. There is a $5 entry fee to get in, and veterans and first responders get in for free at this event. It's November 8th and 9th. I don't know if we mentioned that already. But
It's good to keep mentioning it.
Yeah.
So for volunteers, do you have a form on your website where they can volunteer sign up?
Yes, you can go to toughfoundation.org to sign up to be a cooker. We also have the Tough Kids cook-off as well. You can sign up for that there, and volunteers can sign up.
So that website is toughfoundation.org, and you're also on Facebook. So let's talk about the beneficiaries.
Okay.
Who does silent partner over there?
We are, the Tough Foundation is one of the beneficiaries.
Of course.
We have a program that we are developing internally that's going to be our own mission, and one of the things that we wanted to start doing where it's called Boots to Badges, and the significance of that is it's who we're looking to help our folks that are coming out of the military, looking to go into law enforcement, be a first responder or a police officer. So we're putting together a financial package to help give them incentive and or pay some of the funds or fees, so that we're removing that barrier for them to go to the academy and go in there and graduate and come out. We have quite a few connections in Montgomery County where we'd love to put these guys right back to work, and it just kind of goes full circle for us all the way around. We live here and work here, and
Absolutely.
want to help those guys as well.
So tell me a little bit about the background from Boots to Badges. Where's the theory in that when you get out of the military?
So through our experience with this, I am not a veteran, so I am kind of on the outside looking in, and have been able
Maybe
to
Gary Lynn
inquire
knows.
and find a lot of this. But I think the questions, the two things that we see when we're asking the questions are, how can we help, or what are your biggest challenges? And it's finding employment and keeping your mind going and keeping your mind busy and in that structured environment that you came back out of. So this is kind of bridge that gap to be able to do that, going into, say, the police academy or something like that. It's a very structured environment, just like they're used to. And then, so hopefully what that does, and the research has shown from the experts, we're not the experts, but it says when your mind's busy, then your PTS doesn't kick in. So that's just another way to help.
And that's a big thing with veterans, right?
Correct.
Yes. When I came out of the military, when I came out of the Air Force, I basically, I was stationed in Saudi Arabia out in the middle of the desert, and I lived in a tent, and I out-processed the Air Force, I would say 2 weeks after I got home from the desert, and I was completely lost. My family had been doing their family thing, and their lives had moved on, where, when I came back home, I didn't quite fit in anywhere. So my first knee-jerk reaction was to try to get back in as quickly as I could. I started looking up, going back in as a drill sergeant, or, all kinds of crazy things, which...
Because you needed that structure. You
Yeah.
needed to be a part of something.
Yes, it was...
You needed that community that engages.
Yeah, and, I wound up joining the National Guard and went straight to work working for an engineering firm, and I have ever since. But it was able to give me a little bit of balance, a little bit of military, and a little bit of civilian life, and I was able to kind of get
It kind of
through
bridged the gap
Yes.
between the two
Yeah,
and
it
get
did.
you in the community.
Yeah, but I completely
sense.
understand that there is a need for, veterans who come out to be able to go back into something where it is structured.
This is more structure.
And you have a skill set of skills when you
Right.
come out that's already been given to you. So you're already trained for a lot of these jobs, and that's, correct me if I'm wrong, you're kind of going down a path that you choose sometimes.
Right.
So it's something that you're interested in, so you're prepared and ready, that you just need someone to bring you in.
Yeah,
Take your hand and show you the way.
that's right.
And let you learn to fly again, so to speak. So you have some great sponsors for the Cooking for Courage as well.
Well, we have Spirit of Texas Bank as our title sponsor. I think everyone knows Spirit of Texas Bank. They're a very patriotic bunch over there for sure.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They really appreciate their veterans and first responders. So we are lucky and honored that they chose us to be our title sponsor.
And you also have a bunch of other ones too. You have Visit Conroe, Wood Forest Bank,
Yeah.
Engineering, First Financial.
L-Squared Engineering.
Yes, First Financial Bank.
Yeah, and Solid Rock Ranch kind of did a neat thing for us. They're out of Carmine, Texas. They sponsored 5 veteran teams to come and cook for
Oh.
us this year.
That's
they
nice.
paid their entry fee, and one of them is War Pigs Cookers, Dennis Butterworth. He's a veteran. So
That's a nice thing,
It was
yeah.
a really neat thing to have
It's a different
done
way to
for
do
these
that.
veterans that want to cook, for sure.
Okay, so you also have the kids, where is it? Tell me about the Tough Kids Cook-Off.
Well, Jason got to judge one year. He really enjoyed it. He said these kids are very talented, but it was something
It was
we've
some of the best
done-
food out there that year.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Aspiring chefs.
Right.
So we've done it for the past 3 years. It's gotten bigger every year. Constable Chris Jones is our sponsor this year, and what we did was we have these little barbecue pits that we ordered, and they kind of convert into a cooler this year. So they're really neat, you know, and each kid gets one of these little barbecue pits, and they can either cook right there in front of the stage and have the constables help them, or they can go back to their, you know, their parents' team if they have a, you know, a team on site, and they can go over there and cook their pork chops. And the pork chops are donated by Commander's Barbecue Team, Barbecue Commander's Barbecue Team.
So there's something for everybody. You also have vendors, food and craft vendors, carnival games. You're still looking for vendors.
Yes, for sure. Food vendors, and I think we have all kinds of vendors from Chupacabra, you know, Spices is going to be out there, to Cincy, you know.
Just whatever.
Some
Whatever.
All
cruise,
kinds.
cruise planners
Yeah,
were there
yeah,
last year,
yeah,
I believe.
yeah.
Yeah, anybody.
Yeah, it's quite a selection of.
And the car
vendors.
show. There's also going to be a car show. There's
Actually,
different ones coming.
it's car clubs are going to come out.
Right.
What we do every year is the VFW Post 4709, my post. They do their annual Veterans Day ceremony on the stage at noon on Saturday. And so just before that, the car clubs and the motorcycle clubs will parade through the grounds, and we have a certain area that's all, you know, marked off for these car clubs. It's the Montgomery Jeep Club is going to be there, the
Corvette Club.
Corvette Club, and some motorcycle clubs are going to be there, and they park in their area, but they want to be there to watch the Veterans Day ceremony, and it's a very patriotic event that takes place, and you know, colors comes out, the national anthem's played, there's a flyover. I mean, it That's
everything
right.
is right. That's the reason for the November 8th and 9th.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it's a very patriotic event, and actually the whole event is just you know, flags flying, you know, tugs at your heartstrings, the walking around, seeing everybody appreciating their veterans and thanking their veterans and first responders. It's really neat.
So the things you need most are people to sign up to cooking teams. You need volunteers.
We
you need
need you to
vendors.
come out.
You still want sponsors too, right?
We'll
they can
take
still
sponsors.
sponsor.
Right.
And
We need you to come out and experience the event.
It's a very family fun event and great for the kids.
Music too. Music,
We do have
food,
music.
games. I mean, what else can you ask for?
Well, we want everybody to know that it's not just a barbecue cook-off where you have to have a wristband to get into somebody's private party.
It's only
not
$5
like that at
to
all.
get in, right?
It's only $5.
Unless you're a first responder or a veteran, then you get in free.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
All right. Thanks, you all. And we'll probably hear more about this in another radio show coming up this month.
Great.
Thank
for
you.
having
Thank you.
us.
All right.